Welcome to the Balls Not Court podcast. Cortez Paulus here. I'm doing this solo because Kevin is on vacation. He's not on vacation, but he's at Universal with his kids. And quite frankly, he doesn't really want to talk basketball since football is back around. Hence why I'll be talking about basketball. This past Wednesday, they released the schedule. So as a basketball fan, as a basketball fanatic, I'll tell you how that makes me feel.
Bring me down, the love is too high. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel.
I'm sorry I had to bring that song back in your head, the Pharrell Happy, but that describes me because, like I said, when it comes to football coming around, a couple things I'm really happy about is you got fall TV. So, you got my shows such as like Empire and Heroes is coming back out. I'm very excited about that. Then I know shows like Shameless is coming out in the winter. So I know my TV schedule will be pretty packed. Football, my Sundays are back. So definitely I won't have to be bored trying to figure out what to watch on TV, knowing that the fact that football is back in full effect. Right now it's preseason, but we'll be there in September. So I'm very excited for that. And then, yes, basketball is, when it hits September, is about a month because basketball does its preseason as well. So I am very, very happy. And I'm going to break this down a little bit for you as well. So let's go ahead and get into it right now. Some of the things that I really noticed is as far as because you always know when it comes out the schedule, you want to make sure, okay, what's the Christmas games? So the first Christmas game is going to be the New Orleans Pelicans visiting the Miami Heat at noon. So you got the star Anthony Davis, who is set to be shown on national TV as he definitely moved more into the spotlight of superstardom, facing a fantastic starting five of the Heat. That game is followed by the Chicago Bulls at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Of course, Kevin Durant was injured throughout the year. They came close to making the playoffs and got beat out by the New Orleans Pelicans. So that'll be a fun game to watch. The NBA Finals rematch, which will be on ABC. You got the Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors. That's going to be at 5 p.m. So it's always one Christmas game is going to be the Finals rematch. And what better way to watch two of the best players in the game with LeBron James and Steph Curry. So now the late games are going to be the San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Rockets. And then you got the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Los Angeles Lakers, which is the ordinary LA game that's made Christmas. So, I already was pretty big about not watching. I think the Lakers should be on national TV, but they got fans all over the world, and so of course you want to put them on TV. So they be playing the Clippers there. So that'll be a fun Christmas day to watch. So always fun to watch the Christmas games. I sit down, open my presents, and all I'm doing is tuning into basketball. I'm thinking Florida, you want to go outside and hang out a little bit because I'm pretty sure around here Christmas is going to be 75-degree weather. I can't really think the last time it was really a cold Christmas here. So, but otherwise, I was spending inside watching my Christmas basketball, which I like to do. So all day, that's what I'm attentive to. And so that's the first thing I try to look at when the schedule drops out. So, of course, the season tips off on the 27th. And you got the two playoff rematches versus, you got the Bulls versus the Cavs. And then you got the Warriors getting their rings before playing the Pelicans. So that'd be a nice sight to see where, this team worked so hard to get there and win the rings and win the title and the things they've been through and the fantastic season they had, man. They had the second best record since the Chicago Bulls back in '96. So well deserved for the Warriors. It's going to be a few games to watch here. Then you got, of course, the Kobe Bryant's return, and then he'll be the national televised game with Carvey Towns, is the number 1 overall draft pick for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So those two will be playing each other, so that'll be fun to watch as well. Some of the things to note, because they were really trying to cut on the back-to-back, so what it seemed to be done was TNT, because exclusively Thursday nights were always keyed on for the primetime games. Usually it's only like 2 games, and then sometimes there's like an early game, like 1 early game. So there's not really many games on Thursdays. So TNT did agree to exclusively give up their Thursday night, so more teams are able to play that night. And then also they have moved to where it's going to be Saturday night games, so which could be fun to watch. So they kind of move to Saturday night games, and that'll be partaking near the end of the season because of course, you got the football and everything going on, so you don't want to compete with that. But it should be a nice thing there. So another things to kind of note, to keep interesting here. The Cavs and the Warriors played a massive number of televised games on ESPN, ABC, and TNT. Both of them had 25 each. The teams after that, the Clippers and the Thunder, and they're on national TV 24 times each. The Knicks have seen their national television games cut from 16, and they're went to 7 this season. So that's fewer than the Hawks, who have played 8. New York and Brooklyn, which is usually a national televised game just once for Christmas, have been removed from the Christmas schedule. So the Philadelphia 76ers, the Detroit Pistons, and the Denver Nuggets are the only teams without a national televised appearance on television. So I know Andre Drummond tweeted out that day when he was at the USA minicamp is that he felt like it was basically a paraphrasing that they didn't get no respect. So I'm sure he'll have a chip on his shoulder and try to get his team up and win a few more games so they can be in a national spotlight. So here's a nice nugget here. The Milwaukee Bucks open at home against the New York Knicks on October 28th. It's the first time the Bucks have opened a season since 1984. So 1984, 31 years. Wow. So that's pretty cool. The Bucks are winning and they have a winning product, so it's good for them to get a home game. And kind of crazy that they hadn't had a home opener in 30 plus some years. So it's odd, but at the same time, it is good. And that they're winning, they have a nice young core there, so they get rewarded for winning. So that's good, and I'm sure the Bucks fans are really looking forward to that, and must be surprised that it's been 31 years since they had a home opener. So, of course, you got the James and Durant matchups scheduled for the 17th December and February 21st in OKC. The 17th game will be played in Cleveland, obviously. The final LeBron James and Kobe Bryant game, if it turns out to be Kobe Bryant last season, could be March 10th in Los Angeles. Lakers remain a big draw in our schedule for 19 television slots. So, depending how the schedule goes and how it looks, and because they also have the option of a flat schedule, that they could probably turn this game into national. So it seemed like that this game is not a national televised game the way they're nosing interior. I don't see anything that's indicating that it's a national televised game. So it could be one of those games that could be a flat schedule game, and games that seem like the teams are not performing to par. And then, of course, there's a flat schedule where you can switch them in and out. So then after Christmas, the second Cavs and Warrior game is set for January 18th in Cleveland. And, of course, Darren Williams making a return to Brooklyn. The Mavs on the 23rd of December. Spurs don't play a home game from February 6th to March 2nd. This is part of an 8-game rodeo trip that includes 3 back-to-backs. And, of course, the Lakers and the Clippers' Grammy road trips are short this season, just 4 games each. It falls around the All-Star break. But the Lakers play 8 games in 12 days on a road trip in December. Another nugget that you need to pay attention to for your Nets fans is that they go on a 9-game road trip and have 21 days between home games in February and March because of the circus and college basketball commitments at Barclays. The Warriors play 15 of 24 games on the road over the first 6 weeks of the season, accumulating in a 7-game road trip in December. After a 6-game road trip following the All-Star break, the Warriors played 17 of their final games at home. For your Heat fans out there, the Heat play 11 of 12 games on the road during the stretch in January. So, hopefully the Heat starts out for your Heat fans, they get out to a strong start. And then you hit that brutal stretch in January. So, this is imperative for any team to take advantage of the schedule while they can, because you got to give yourself some slack in case you run to parts of the schedule like this. So, Phoenix Sun will spend only 1 night in the road in February. In Los Angeles, 10 of their 11 games will be played at home. Well, Phoenix Suns want to try to make a run at home. There you go. There's your option, Suns fans. The New York Knicks go 14 days between home games in March, when Madison Square Garden will be used for college basketball. The Pistons have a 9-game homestand in March and April, going 18 days between road trips. And then the early afternoon games, which had been a tradition for Toronto and the pitfall for visiting teams, this year the Raptors have no weekend early afternoon games on their schedule. And the Hornets go 14 days between road. Let me say that again. The Hornets go 21 days between home games and 14 days between road games at different times. The Thunder play only one home game in April, playing their last 5 of their final 6 games on the road. That's a real stretch for you, Thunder fans. And then here's the last one here. The Sacramento Kings' final scheduled home game at Sleep Train Arena is against the Thunder on April 9th because of their new arena should be completed around that time. So it's a lot of interesting nuggets there. So as you see the schedule goes out and you get all the breaks down and you try to look how many back-to-backs your team has. I know they try to reduce the back-to-backs for most of the teams. I do believe the Magic was one of the teams that were unfortunate to get that reduction. Partly because they do have a trip in London, so that could be why they went from 17 to 19 games. But for the majority part, the other teams have seen a reduce in their back-to-back games. And like I mentioned earlier, it seemed like the TT giving up their exclusive rights for Thursday nights did offer to actually play around the schedule and not trying to extend it within days and everything like that. Hopefully this helped with injuries, hopefully this helped with players staying healthy, because I know it was an issue with players getting hurt more than usual last year. So hopefully the schedule works out for everybody in their favor. And we all know injuries is part of the game, so I'm wishing even early that whoever team you root for, they all stay healthy. So yeah. Now, some of my top games that I want to highlight, I got some of my top 10 games that I want to share with you and who I'm personally will be watching for. So last time, as you can hear the excitement in my voice, I'm very excited about basketball, and it's just a step, as far as me being a Magic fan, I can try to highlight and see what games I'm going to try to go to and try to plan that out and see what teams I like to watch, such as the Warriors, or maybe watch Kobe distances last year, go out and everything like that. Of course, you like to see LeBron play, and then of course the Spurs and everything like that. But as a fan, the last time I'm a basketball fan, so of course I'm gonna highlight some of the games I would like to watch, and I'm definitely going to renew my NBA League Pass this year. I really slacked off with that last year, but I will get on the ball here. So some of the games I make sure I would pay attention to, and I'm going from descending to ascending. So we'll start with the game at 10, which will be my top games to watch. My 10th game, I'm gonna go with the Magic versus the Raptors. I know, surprise, I got a Magic game on here, but they're playing in London, so they're gonna play at Wembley Stadium. They're playing there on January the 14th. The last time the Magic went to play in London was in 1993. It was a team led by Shaq and Penny playing the Atlanta Hawks. So it's a great opportunity for both teams to expand their fan base internationally, which both are pretty well represented anyways, especially the Raptors, who play in Canada and have that international flavor to them. Whenever you go watch the games in the playoffs, of course, you see that they have a sold-out arena and then have people outside cheering with a big scream. So the Raptors, it's always fun watching their environment as far as playoffs. So I wish every team was like that. So this will help. And then, of course, you get to see the young new. And around this time here, you can tell the Magic is going to make some noise or not.